Okay, today we're in this beautiful garden outside the Adoration Chapel at our church, and Mother Mary's here.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about our love for each other. A little over a year ago, more than a year ago, I was on Catholic Match, and I noticed you. I was just thinking about that. And it was like, I probably would noticed you 3 or 4 weeks before I actually sent you a message. I was like, well, she seems like she's just like me. And, you know, it's just like, wow. So, but you had wrote on there that your age thing. And I was slightly...
I had an age range.
Yes.
And he was a little bit above.
And so I finally decided to just send you a message that yes, I was a little older, but I thought we were like, you know, and you answered.
And you were right.
Yes, you know, it's been amazing, so beautiful. I remember our first, on some of the things on our first date, that one of the things is before you came, you sent me a picture of you in your car saying, "This is who I am," or something like that.
Yes.
I don't
so
have
you
that.
Find me.
Yes, so I knew who you were when you came.
Yeah.
You know, I'm driving this car. You had your picture of you in your car.
Yeah.
And you were in this dress.
I'm wearing these. Yeah, I was wearing this dress. So then you can see who I am today, what I look like today, and you know, you could recognize me.
Yes. And then I remember when you came to the restaurant, and I was like, wow, you know. And then you sit down. When you was talking, you surprised me by your drinks, and it's like, well, it's Sunday, we should have a beer. It's fun.
Thought I was an alcoholic? No.
No. But it was beautiful, you know. And then I remember that. Oh, we were talking, and you decided, well, you said you needed to go to Lowe's, and you asked me if I wanted to go along, and I was like, wow, she's going to Lowe's. How can a guy refuse to go to Lowe's? But mainly it's like, oh, she's extending the time. That was wonderful.
Yeah, so we walked across the parking lot to Lowe's, and you carried my mini blinds.
Yes. And then we went and had coffee. You know, and you know, I remember how you quoted that scripture, and I just was in awe. I was just in awe.
And I happened to look at Alan's face while I was quoting this scripture. It's Isaiah 55 verses 9 and 10 about how the Lord's ways are so much higher than our ways. His thoughts are above our thoughts. And it's kind of lengthy, and I looked at Alan, and he was just loving scripture as much as me.
You know, and then our second date was amazing too. Well, before I go back to the first date, when we hugged, that was just whatever seed God planted in us was amazing. It truly just keeps growing and growing.
It's love growing.
Yes. I visioned it like a little mustard seed he planted in me, and it just keeps growing so deeply and big. So I remember, you know, after we were dating for a little while, and it just burst out of me. This beautiful love I had for you. That I call it undescribable. Just beautifully undescribable. I can't even begin to describe it. It's pure, it's unconditional, just pure unconditional love.
We laugh because the word is actually indescribable, and Alan is famous for mowing over words.
Yes.
But it is undescribable.
Yes.
What's happened. Yeah. We've both been really amazed at what the Lord has done from our first date.
Yes. And it just kept going. On our second date, we spent like 12 hours together. You know, it was just beautiful. And we went to church. And that really touched me.
spontaneously went to 5 o'clock mass. Yeah.
Yes, and it seemed like everybody was noticing us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we had a lot of comments
Mm-hmm.
on that date.
Yeah.
We were at a kind of a river festival.
Mm-hmm.
It was neat.
Mm-hmm. And it
It was a beautiful date.
yes, it was. It's just, you know, and I found myself with you. Always, I've always been sort of reserved about putting myself out there to people. And over those first 2 days, I was amazed of how I just poured all myself out to you,
Wow.
just naturally. I was amazed at myself.
Yeah. So Alan says, I'm really an introvert. I can't believe I'm talking this much. And I was like, what? I had no idea he was an introvert. Because you were sharing and telling stories and a good conversationalist. And we've been having a wonderful, wonderful time.
Yes. You know, and back to our hug on that first date was later on, Laurie asked me about that a couple times, and the only way I could describe it is like our souls touched. It was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and when we're hugging, a lot of times I have this visions of our souls just wrapped around each other. This glowing thing that I don't know if I couldn't draw a picture of it or nothing or describe it, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, and just for a note, I don't usually hug strangers. I don't hug, I side hug males, just hug from the side, but I just felt like you were a Christian brother, and I just reached over and hugged you goodbye. And then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But yeah, something supernatural, about 3 supernatural occurrences happened on our first date. And the Lord and the Holy Family, the Lord and the Blessed Virgin and Saint Joseph have all really made themselves known in our lives.
Oh, it's just been, I've been just so blown away by how strong they've made their presence known. You know, there's no doubt that God's grace has been on us, and I wonder how long He had us planned. You know, because He's truly just had us planned to be with each other. You know,